Welcome to fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. Good to see everybody here. I am here with the wonderful Nick Hunter, who is hiding over here. Hello, Nick.
Hello.
Welcome, everybody. We're here to talk about the wonderful FileMaker and Claris platforms. We stream 5 days a week. Real quick, let's talk about our schedule going forward for this week. So we are doing another Nick mini-series. Woo! Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're doing build document management with OCR, automation, and FileMaker for 3 days. It'll be really fun. Friday will be an open FileMaker server Q&A. So if you have server questions, that would be one you would want to ask. Monday will be the FileMaker Monkey Bread Plugin Spotlight SFTP. So he'll be doing like quite a few spotlights over the next couple weeks. So this will be one that we're doing on Monday, and then Tuesday Nick starts starts our other series, which is existing FileMaker file design and modernization workshop. Basically, if you have a FileMaker file, you should send it to us. If you'd like to have Nick look it over live on stream and give live feedback, I promise he won't be mean. We're not here to make you look like an idiot. That is not the goal. We're here basically to help people develop and improve development. And so Nick is working, I think, on Ken's file, which is one of our regulars, for 2 weeks. So 6 days in total, and showing off what he's editing and fixing and highlighting. And after everything is done, you get the file back. So we're not like, here's all this magical stuff you can do to your file, and we're keeping it. No, we send it back to you, I promise. We also have bundles if you'd like to support the channel. We have our FM Training annual subscription bundle. Pick one. All of them have 100+ hours of really high energy and entertaining video content. So I highly recommend it. If you're an intermediate developer who needs to like brush up on your stuff, or if you're totally new and you're like, man, I really want to figure out what this FileMaker stuff is about, or I've got big gaps in my knowledge, this is something to pick up and do. I promise it's great. Also as a refresher, and it supports the channel. So thank you very much. If you've bought it, we greatly appreciate it. Okay, I think that is the opening spiel done. Nick, what are we doing today?
Hello. Yeah. So what we're doing today is interesting. So thank you for the introduction, as always, Marge. Yeah. So send us files because it's a good opportunity for you guys because I'm going to review. I had a 1-hour meeting with Zoom with Ken. He explained to me things, and to understand the file, and I gave him like an hour of free consults, right? I'm talking like lawyers, right? Like a lawyer. You have a 1-hour free consult with me, and you have and I will work on your file for 1, 2, or even 3 weeks if the file is interesting, right? So if I find anything interesting in the file, that will, I will strip out things that I want to talk about and fix in front of you, right? I'm not going to fix all. I'm not going to build a new file for you, but I'm going to fix things and give you recommendations, and so it could be interesting, right? It's it could be for you. You can get something back, and so we don't, like March said, we send back to you the file after that. So we've all the fix, we've all the change. So that could be interesting. So yeah, send us files, please. Because otherwise the boss is going to cancel this workshop stuff, and it's a pity, so send us files. So that being said, like you said, today we start a mini series of OCR / past data / connecting data to different parts of a solution. So pretty much what we want to achieve here, so let me share my screen right quick. So what we want to achieve here using this is, so we have a document like this, right? So, and it's an official document, so it's not something public. So we have a document, and then we want to OCR it, right? And then get something like this, right? So we want to get something like this, right? So sorry guys, I have this issue, and even Jacob cannot find why. I cannot see the interactive container. I have no idea. My customer can, but I can't. So I have no idea. It worked for a while, and then it stopped, and it worked for a while, and then it stopped. I don't know why. So, but what we want to do here, it's getting a file right? Scan it, right? I mean, scan it or, OCR it, and then get it connected to all of those things, connect to the parcel, connect to the contact, connect to the site, the company, the county, connect this to, connect these documents automatically to this, okay? So, but first, we need to learn how to use OCR online, how to use an API. So why I'm using an API, it's very simple. It's because an API, you use a big giant server with a lot of power, a lot of horsepower behind, and you have plenty of, especially now, we have this AI stuff. They learn, there's a machine learning stuff, so they learn about about what you do, and so they constantly improved the engine. And in this case here, we have 5 different engines, right? They use here, and so they constantly improve. They constantly, get the thing better. And I don't know how the plugin works behind the scene. It could have advantage to have a plugin in some case, but in that case, what I like. I never used a plugin before, so I don't want to talk about the plugins because I never used that, and I don't know how we get the results, so I cannot comment on it. But here you can see what I'm getting out of the scan. It's the JSON results, and that's what interests me, because here you have a parse result, and I can select by the number. I can browse the documents, right? I can browse the document with the array number, right? And I can see which one is interesting me, okay? In that case, this is what interesting me. Out of all this text I have, what interesting me is this, right? So before we get there, but I wanted to show you the big picture, to show you what we want to achieve. Put a document, do the OCR, and boom. Advantage of the API, and it's working very well on server. Okay, so that means the OCR here, I'm not doing it on server. I'm doing that. I'm not doing it local. I'm doing that on server. So I launch a piece of and do it, right? So, and I can launch, one day I launched like 3,000 documents to scan, to do the OCR. I sent that to the server. It did that, right? Took an hour to do that, right? But I wasn't stuck with this, right? So I know plugins works on server and stuff like that, but I'm not going to, I'm not doing a war against plugin or for plugin. I don't want to, to do that. I'm using an API for conveniency, okay? But you feel free to do the same using a plugin, right? So how does this work? So let's say I'm starting a new doc here, and I'm going to, drag this here. So I have this document here, right?
Really?
And I want to, sorry?
There's a really fast question that people, I want to get out of the way. What service are you using for OCR?
Oh, good question. I skipped it completely. Sorry for that. I skipped it completely.
Of those, so I just want to bring it.
No, you're right. Let me switch off my camera to keep as much as bandwidth as possible. Okay. So I'm using OCR Space, right? I'm using OCR Space because it's the fastest and the most powerful in the market, right? So it's not expensive. So you have the free, but the free, you have a lot of limitation. You have a free page limitation, 1 megabyte size per file limitation. You have 25,000 requests per month, 500 a day. So you have limitation here, right? But here, so for example, here, my client took the 60 per month. So you have 300,000, requests per month. 100 megabytes plus, and unlimited page. So you have, and of course, you have a better engine. So you have a better engine. What's the name? A better, more horsepower to do their what's the name? Their OCR. So this is this will be a little bit sluggish. Sluggish. Slower than this. This is super fast. Okay. So, and it's very simple to use. So we can work through, right? We can work through. And what we need to, so we're going to use the post parameters. So we're going to use the insert from URL technique with a curve, with a curve request. Okay. So, and here we have all the parameters, so the API key for, of course, then the URL, the file, the language you want to do. Do you want to, it does automatically. You can do that automatically, but it's better if you force it. Okay, it's better if you say this is the language. Okay, this is very important. Okay, this is what gives the results as is. Here. This is what gives this, the text overlay. This is what gives this, for each one, each array like this, line, line, line. So this is the option we need to use for that. The file type, it's also it's optional. He's doing it automatically, but it's better to force it, right? You can detect the orientation. Sometime, when you scan, or or on the other side, like on portrait or on landscape like this. The scale, all of this is not very interesting. The is table is interesting too, because sometimes you have you have a table, right? Like an Excel with tables like this. You have a table on the so if you use that option, it does a much better work. And the OCR engine number. So we have different type of engines, and the one that I use, right? The one that I use is this one, the 5. This is the one, the most powerful for what I want to do, right? But you can try which engine works better for you. And of course, you can combine multiple engines together, right? So, but depends on what you want to do. For example, the engine 3 is especially made for this kind of stranger character, right? Hindi, Persian, like this. So you use this one. But after many times working with this, the engine number 5 is the best, okay? Because he recognized those, right? That we have often, right? He recognized the $sign, the euros, the parentheses, the curly brackets and stuff like that. So that is the most powerful for what I want to do, okay? So the response we get back is a JSON format. So something we can read very easily, right? And then you have all the options like this, right? So it's not very complicated. So I'm going to show you that. So far, do we have questions?
We do actually. So they're on Discord. How secure is the OCR service in the internet?
it's encrypted by the SSL, right? So it's you have the same, it's HTTPS, so you have this secure, this way of secure. It won't be less secure than FileMaker, right? So that this is you have an encryption, right? You can read on their website about the security, right? But if you have very sensitive data, and I had a customer like this, right, that needed something like this, he couldn't get anything out of his premises. It couldn't by law, okay? And he couldn't get anything out. So he was using the enterprise, and he got his own server, his own API, his own server in his premises. Okay, so that's something you can do. If you have this level of security, you can do that. Okay, or use a plugin. Depends. It depends. But for example, I did a test with this with a PDF with something like 1,200 page, right? And I didn't get any different with 5 page or 1,200 page. It was as fast, the same, right? So this service is good when you have big files, right? So it's very fast because you have a lot of horsepower. Here, when you have 1 page, you won't see the difference, right? It's so let's show you how it works. So it's an English file. I want the overlay, and here I'm selecting the engine number 5. Okay, so I start the OCR. So the OCR will come, boom, OCR'd, right? So fast, right? And I got my JSON, right? So I got the JSON here. So this is my file. This is my file. I have the text if I want. This is a pure text. Of course, doing this, you get searchable PDFs because now I can search in this, right? And now I have the ability to select which array I want, right? And I think in this one, around the 17, yeah. Because when you have documents that looks alike, right? When you have documents that looks alike, like this one, they're documents, like a bank statement and stuff, they look alike, they will all be the same. This technique here, this server, this service will return things pretty accurately and pretty much, and you get always at the same place the data you want. Here, I want that number, right? The number that's here. So the number here is in here in the JSON is on the 17th. So it should be something or somewhere like this, is here, right? So it's kind of cool. So now, how we get there, So how we get there? So we have a script. So this is how I recommend to do things like this, to slice in multiple variable, and then at the end you collect your variables, right? So all of those are variables. Why? I'll show you. When you click here, you collect your information. Okay. You collect your information, boom, 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 boom. And then you put that in one variable. Why? Because here now we have the ability to check on what happened, right? So we have the key. I should have showed that, but it's okay. Now you have my key. We have the engine, right? We have the language. We have the file name, and we have the overlay true, file name, the language, and their, and here, the URL, which one, and here we have the header, right? We have the header. So the goal here now, right, is to insert from URL into a field, a text field, right? And we insert this. So we're going to send this to the server, right? And this is how you collect, right? So we generate those variables. You, what's the name? You gather all the information in one big variable like this. So this variable is calling all the other variables, right? And then you put all what you want to send to the request. So here we use something here. We use the quotes, right? Because we need to quote this, right? So because the server needs to receive quoted things. This here need to be quoted, right? So pretty much what we need, what the server needs, and that is valid for many of the APIs, right? The server needs to receive quotes this, quote this, quote this, but in our calculation, right? In our calculation here, FileMaker needs quotes as well, right? So it starts to be very complicated if you want to quote this to do the infamous quotes, commented quotes, blah, 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 commented quotes, right? So we don't want to do that, right? We don't want to, because this is complicated. So FileMaker has this quotes, So if you use quotes and you say Nicholas, done. The result is quoted, right? It is the same as doing this. Okay? But look, so if you have a calculation with a lot of strings and and constants and stuff like that you want to, but FileMaker needs, right, to assemble and to create another strings, right? I recommend strongly that you use the quote function. Then you say, okay, quote me this. This is a FileMaker calc. Quote me this at a FileMaker calc. Quote me this, right? So the server is expecting to, receive those characters, right? And then at the end, so you do the header, you did the form, okay, that all the, what's the name, the parameter you want to add. So you do this and this and this and this. So presented that way is much easier to read, right? And at the end, right, we send the, what's the name, the file. We send the file. So there's a way to send file using base64, right? But I prefer to use that way, okay? And I'm going to explain you how to send a file to an API with FileMaker. I know there's many ways to do that, but this is my way, and I'm using this for years and always worked. Here, right? So I could have used the quote here, by the way. You see, when you don't use the quote, right? This is what you get, okay? I could have said quotes this, but it's okay. So this is a data. So I'm sending the header, the form, and the data, right? And the server, OCR Space, is expecting the file to be like this: file equal @ $, and the file itself. Okay. So how we get the my file, how we get the my file stuff. It's my file. Where's my file? Okay, here. First, so that's the name of the file, right? So substitute the name of the file. And here I have this. So I'm cleaning up the name of the file. This is my old way to do that. This file is like 5 years old, 6 years old, right? The API, this OCR stuff. I have a better way to do that right now, but it's okay. You can do that. It's a substitute, and you have all the character I want to clean. All the characters that we shouldn't have on the name, okay? That we need to send and clean that, right? So the what's the name? The quotes and whatever, brackets, whatever, So this is how you clean. So you get as text this. This is to force to get this as text. We shouldn't have to do that, but I noticed that sometimes it's better to have this to get as text stuff, the container. So you get the name of the file, right? And then you build a variable with the name of the file. So you build a variable named with the name of the file. So let me explain. Here, now, I have a variable with the name of the file. This is a variable. Dollar, it's a local variable. $test 300, this is the name of this file. If I go there, so I have another file. I hope it's different. No, it should be the same. So let me put another one. New. Let's put this one. If I start again, so now the name is this. So the variable, sorry, I didn't do it. Up. So now the variable, my variable here is named as the file, right? So how we do that, and it's a good technique because you can use that technique for many things, okay, not just for this. So because we cannot say set variable and build a name with a specified calculation. We don't have this, thanks to Claris. So we need to do it ourselves, okay? But that's a way to do that. How? We use the let statements, right? The let statements. So let's build a let statement. Let statement, you can define statements. This is a statement. For example, contain, like for example, fields equal this. And we can say language equal language. And then, right, we can call those here in the calculation section. So I'm doing declaration, okay? I'm doing a statement. I'm making a statement. Field is this. Language, lang, is this, right? So I can say, for example, left, this. So that means this will return the value of this. Advantage is I can call it as much as I want. You know, I can say upper language. I can call it. I can call that language 10 times in the calculation. It will never be re-evaluated. The let statement will evaluate this at the beginning. It will say, okay, field is this, language is this. Okay, now I have it. So now I can use it here as many times as I want. It will never go back, call what the language, because if I do this, it's the same, but the calculation will call the content of this field 2 times. So it's not efficient. That's why the let statement is much efficient. But now we have another thing. So that is the statement we use, right, in the calc. And outside of this, those two are not available. So now what we can do this, right? We can do this. So what's the difference on this, right? So I do this and I can say this. Right? But what, I took field, I should have said lang. So what's the difference now? Look this. Lang field. I created a variable out of my calculation. I created a variable out of the calculation. Okay? Without set variable. I don't need proof of it. I'm going there and I said, I want, I want the upper of this, but I want, I don't know, 2 characters, right? No, not here. I said here, right? Here, I want that upper, for example. Okay? That means in capital character. I change the variable. If I go there, I validate this, I go there, now this is in capital. Right? Right? So you can do whatever you want. If I say, for example, if I change this and I say Nicholas, okay? I change this, so the field variable will change. Now it's Nicholas. Without any set variable script steps. So that's super powerful. When you know to use that, you'll use that as a drug addict, like a drug addict. Because it's super powerful. You can have a script parameter that generates a variable. Proof of it. Look, I can do, this here. I don't know if I have a script parameter here, but I can build one. So let's say you have a button. And this button, it's a simple script step, right? Show dialog, right? Test variable. And here, test variable. I'm putting this in a message, right? And now, I know I need a script. So let's make that a script. I need a script. Test variable. Now that I have a script, I go to the parameters and I say let, right? Test variable equal, I don't know, get timestamp, for example. Okay, right? I'm doing this. So I said, in my parameter, I have a let statement that will create a variable with the current timestamp. No script step, nothing. I have no script step. I have just, in this one, I've show dialog. That's it. Okay, right? So let's see. Boom. Again, 51. Again, 54. Again, 56. I don't have any set variable. So when you know to use this, it's freaking powerful. And you can use that on auto entries, even there, you know, on the validation calculation. You want the validation code, you want the validation status. It's when you start using this, right? You're like a drug addict, I tell you. You know, you will see. If you got this, you know, because it's even on the hidden status, you can put this, you know. Even on the hidden status, you can put a calculation like this, right? So if you want, I can do a webinar based on this, how to use variable, right? Because I know, who knows, now just a question like this, who knows how to use this, the repetition on variable? Question.
Sorry, I was waiting for people to respond. The answer is no so far.
So you never use that, never, ever?
No.
No, this button is brand new, never used, right? Okay, so we need a webinar out of variables. Because this, you know, when you know to use this, it's super powerful too, you know, because now that you know how to create a variable, right? You know how to create a variable like this, right? So normally you have it. Yeah, but the one is not good. You know, the repeating field. So we can have this. So this is a 1. This will be the 2. You know, and we can say get current time. You know, current time. That will be the variable 2. So here now I have 2. I have 2 variables with the same name. But now I can say get repetition, right? Okay, so whatever. This is another webinar. So now you know how to generate variables out from calculation, okay? In our case here, what we want to do, so let me clean up that file. In our case here, what we want to do, right? We want to create a variable out of multiple small pieces, right? So you need to learn about another function that we call evaluate. So let me show you this. What the evaluate means, right? If I say something like this, look this, get current date, right? And -10 and dash and I don't know, what's the name? Container. This is what I get. It's a text, okay? It's a text, so I have this as text, so it said get current date -10 and dash. So, but now I want to evaluate this. Okay, so what's wrong? And minus 10. I should have a space here. Maybe this doesn't like this one. I don't know.
Someone suggested you can define.
Yeah. Let make it simple. I said I want get current end minus 10. We are on the 14, so this is 4. If I say minus 1, minus 11 is 3. If I remove the evaluation, this is a piece of text. If I put the evaluation back, now he evaluates this as a FileMaker calculation. He will try to make it. He will get that as a function, and he will calculate the minus, right? You understand? But normally, he should have said, oh yeah, but yeah. Oh, I must make this n% and yeah, container. No? I don't know. I don't know why it doesn't want to do that. Actually, it should have worked, but what? Cannot be. Maybe because I need to say get as text, something like this. Anyway, no. But you got the point here. It needs to be like a calculation that So we can build something like this. So we can say like for example, plus. Let's say you want to calculate this. No, Nick. So Nick, you must get this done on. Nick, you must get this done on and get. I don't know why it's not doing this. When I put something before, it doesn't like it. Because normally this should be working. But it's okay. But you got a point. We can. I don't have a good example, but it's okay. We can build. We can evaluate. I don't know why this doesn't work. And yeah, it should work. And this. Maybe I should do something like this. I try to get it done. And no, it doesn't work. It doesn't like it. So anyway, this works. So you have the gets, you type whatever you want, and so you can evaluate whatever you want. Right? We can evaluate a piece of text and try to get FileMaker to understand that this is something you need to compute, right? So that you evaluate. So now what I'm doing here, I'm evaluating this. So I'm evaluating a text. This is a text. If I take this out, right? If I do this and I remove the evaluation, this is what I get. I get nothing, by the way.
I think the calc engine wants the fully qualified field name -T0 and underscore.
Yeah. But it should. Oh, I didn't save the script. Hold on. I removed the evaluation. So
take out the quotes before get.
Yeah. No. I want this. Boom. I want this to be no. So this is what I get. Let's something like this. So it didn't evaluate this. It didn't do it. This is a piece of text. It didn't evaluate that. So because I didn't, so he returned the text I put there, right? But if we put an evaluation, if we put that text inside evaluate, it will make it. So I'm building, right? I'm building my let statements. So I'm building my, what's the name? My lets and my variable based on other things. So I have here my file name is getting the file of the container, the name of the file in the container, and it stripped out all the pluses and stuff like this. So this is a name that this variable will return. Then I said in the text, I want to let parenthesis a $sign to create a local variable. That's the name I want attached to the global sign, to the $sign. And then I'm saying equal, right? So the name, so equal whatever the name of the field or the name of the file. Okay. So here I'm creating a variable. I'm building a name of the variable built on multiple building blocks, text, variable, equal, right? And then this is to create the variable, and the whole thing here will make the let statement to generate the variable, to set the variable, thanks to the evaluation calculation. So evaluate with analyze this piece of text, because this text, and you say, okay, yes, I can understand that as a FileMaker function, and I got it all. I can understand all what you say. I'm going to evaluate this. I'm going to try to get the result out of this as if I was doing this, okay? As if I was doing this. The name of the file, .pdf, okay, equal this, right? So it's the same as doing this. It's the same. But we cannot get this to be the name of the file. So this needs to be the name of the file. You understand that? And to custom make a custom, or what's the name? To specify a name of the variable by calculation, we don't have a function. We don't have the specify button here. So we need to use that technique here, right? If you didn't get it, I understand. It's kind of, but this is a way to create a custom named variable on the fly based on all the calculation. So I bet we should have quite some question, right?
Could this work for iOS?
That works on iOS. Why not? On iOS, this will work. We work even on WebDirect. That will work.
Can we have the name with GetAttribute?
We can have the name with whatever you want. You type here whatever you want. Right? If I want to, I don't know, to put the get layout attribute, of course you can, but we can do whatever you want. Like I said, we can say get I don't know, or account name, for example, right? It's a piece of text, right? So if I do this and I try to evaluate it, it will do it. If we don't have any other questions, so now I'm declaring, right, that the variable, what the content of the variable, that's for the name of the variable, and that is for the content of the variable. And the content of the variable, I want that to be the container, whatever in the container, right? So I want that to be the container, right? So that will gather the file and put it in the variable. Yes. It will take the file that inside the container and put it inside the variable. That's how it sends it. is going to send it, right, to the server, to the URL, right?
Is Nick missing quotes before the $ variable in the evaluate let statement? Question mark.
Quote variable.
Quotes before the variable. Yeah.
Here? No, I don't need, because I have an and.
I think he's, oh, no, before the $. I see.
Before? No,
Yeah.
because I want because let, we have this is how it works. Let, like this, $, okay, my variable, okay, whatever, equal get field name this. So I have no, I don't need that because I have here. So this is this, it's the same as this, if you want, okay. I have this, okay. So it's a piece of text. This is a piece of text, right? This is another piece of text, all of those. All of this, no. Okay, this is a piece of text. This is a piece of text, right? And then, but the whole thing is a piece of text as well. So yeah, that's why I know it's, you will have some hard time to do that, right? Because FileMaker is not helping nobody for that, right? So yeah, so it's a piece of text in a piece of text, right? So it's because this, it won't be a problem, right? So, but no, I don't miss that. Proof of it works. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. So when you press the button here, right? What you need to know, inside this variable that I created, I have the file. I have all the content of the file inside that variable, right? So, and then the script will use this, right, to insert from URL from the header, right? And the header has a file in it here, right? The header, and then I insert from URL, right? And then I perform this. Okay, this is pure FileMaker stuff. I'm creating a page on the background. So you click, it sends, and boom, it returns, okay, with all the information. So this is how you send a document to an API. When you want to send a doc, now we have the base 64, okay. I never had the time to make it base 64, but it's another technique difference. You get a, you encode at base 64 and then you send that, but I never got the connection between this server. This file is 6 years old, but that technique I'm using is bulletproof. It's bulletproof. It works all the time, and it's very cool.
Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Nick. We greatly appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you very much. And see you tomorrow.
See everyone tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody.
report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir!